Imagine this, right? Transforming your home into this cash-generating hub, working from absolutely anywhere with just a laptop, and really truly unlocking financial freedom. If you're tuned in right now, chances are you've seen that vision, you've probably read about it, and, well, you're actively looking for genuine ways to make some income from home, full-time, part-time, whatever fits.
And that desire, that, drive for autonomy, it's incredibly powerful. The internet, it absolutely presents massive opportunities for that. But here's the thing, the quiet part people often miss. It's also completely flooded with hype, just flooded. Everywhere you look, there are these claims, right? The one magic bullet for instant riches, or this single tactic that promises the world. And even if you consciously know it's hype, there's maybe a deeper part, an emotional part, that still really wants to believe it.
It's that tension, isn't it, between the dream and well, the sales pitch. So our mission for this deep dive is basically to cut through all that noise. We're going to try and pull out the essential nuggets of knowledge, the real deal, for building a legitimate, sustainable home business online. We've dug pretty deep into the research, and what we found are these 6 critical ingredients, things that really make a turnkey online business actually work, not just look good on paper.
Yeah, it's like a foundational blueprint, really. First off, you absolutely need a product that genuinely everybody wants and needs. And it's not just any product. It's got to solve a universal pain point, something people are actively searching for solutions to. Think about maybe effective time management tools for remote workers, right?
Mhm.
Or sustainable household stuff, maybe niche, but universally needed by their specific audiences. The simpler the problem it solves, usually the better it scales.
Okay, makes sense. Simple but needed. What's second?
Second, the compensation plan. This is vital. It needs to offer good immediate income, sure, but also have that genuine potential for residual income down the line.
Residual income, that's the key phrase, isn't it? What makes a compensation plan actually deliver on that promise, that idea of, more free time later as the business grows?
Well, the best plans, they offer a really clear path to that residual income. Often it's through building a team or, say, a subscriber base.
Yeah.
It's not just about one-off sales. It's about building something that generates recurring revenue so you can potentially work less over time but still keep getting paid.
Gotcha. So, product compensation. What's number 3?
Third, you're going to need a comprehensive system. And this system, it has to be easily duplicated. Crucially, it needs to do the telling and selling for you. Because look, a lot of people have fantastic product ideas, but they feel maybe uncomfortable with direct sales or marketing.
Mm-hmm.
A good system should handle that heavy lifting.
Okay. A duplicatable system.
Fourth is proper training. This is non-negotiable. We're talking webinars, conference calls, stuff that's practical, actionable, not just theory. It needs to build your confidence so you actually feel assured and confident in what you're doing.
Confidence is huge. And number 5, you mentioned mentorship.
Ah, yes. Mentorship. This is arguably one of the biggest differentiators.
Yeah.
Huge. You need to connect with people who are already genuinely successful in what you want to do. They've walked the path, right? They've maybe achieved the lifestyle you're aiming for. They can share their journey. And just as importantly, the mistakes they made, so you can hopefully avoid those same costly detours.
Learn from others' mistakes, not just your own. Make sense? And the final ingredient.
And finally, the 6th ingredient, and honestly maybe the most powerful, yourself, you. Success isn't about chasing instant riches. That's just a myth, really. It requires you to be willing to learn new skills, definitely put in the initial groundwork, be flexible, adopt a long-term view, and have truly realistic expectations from day one. That last part, that's half the battle for many newcomers.
Realistic expectations. So important. Okay, we've laid out the ingredients, but let's circle back to that allure. We talked about the pitfalls, the hype. But what is it fundamentally that makes this dream of an online home business so incredibly attractive, despite all the warnings? The vision of staying home in pajamas, laptop lifestyle, buckets of revenue.
Oh, it's certainly appealing, no doubt. But the flip side, as I often point out, is that for every success story you hear, there are countless people who end up losing money. A lot of money sometimes. For most people who come online looking for this, it unfortunately becomes a tremendous cash cavity. What I mean by that is it's a huge financial drain, a net loss that just eats away at their savings and maybe worse, their belief. And this often stems from trusting the hype, believing all they have to do is just, follow the leader.
And it sounds like following the leader often means following them right into a financial hole, doesn't it? Because we're talking serious investments sometimes. Thousands, maybe tens of thousands of dollars for products that, let's be honest, nobody would buy off a shelf at those prices. They're essentially buying the right to sell and collect a profit. That's a classic Biz Op model, right? And then there are all the extra costs, the necessary training, the tools. Before you know it, you could be out, what, 50 grand? And still not have a successful business.
It's a really stark contrast to traditional business. Think about if you invest, say, $300,000 in a franchise. You're committed for years. You've got a proven model. You're not just trying it out.
Huh.
The internet definitely offers quicker, cheaper startups, sure. But that doesn't mean automatic success. Not at all. It demands you treat it like a true business with that same level of commitment, not just some casual experiment you dip your toe into.
It's amazing, though, how people will sometimes go to, like, zealous efforts to ignore good sense and just trust the hype, constantly chasing those elusive magic bullets for traffic that, well, they don't really exist like that.
Real success, look, in this field or any other, it takes persistence. Persistence in mastering new skills. It requires a willingness to actually put yourself out there, to engage, adapt constantly. And maybe most importantly, it means listening to your hunch, your gut feeling. That inner voice can be your most powerful guide against that siren song of quick fixes and easy money.
That brings us neatly to a really crucial aspect,
Yeah.
who you actually follow and why, especially in this whole make cash online industry where titles like leader get thrown around so freely, sometimes with, let's say, questionable motives.
That's a critical point. Yeah. To me, true leadership, genuine leadership is not self-seeking. It just isn't. Let me give you a pattern I've seen play out so many times, a classic example. Let's call him Jim. So Jim builds this impressive following, right? And he preaches giving back. Sounds great. But what that really means, often, and what his so-called leaders don't maybe realize, is that they're giving their time, their talent, to his bottom line. He gets this ready group of volunteers for training calls, maybe creating content. And these volunteers, often top producers themselves, they get kind of trapped, wedged in this belief that by assisting Jim, they're being leaders. But often it comes at the cost of their own vision, their own purpose. They lose sight of why they started. Wow, it sounds like a pretty clever, almost manipulative marketing technique dressed up as leadership. So by contrast, what defines a true leader in this space, someone genuinely trying to help? A true leader, I believe, is someone willing to risk their own fate. Someone willing to go against the grain, maybe, and take a stand for a cause they genuinely believe in. Their primary motivation isn't just to gain followers, it's to advance that cause. Followers might come naturally, sure, but that's not the main goal. So this raises a really important question for you, the listener. Who are you really following, and why? I'd encourage you. Stand up for your own cause, not just blindly follow someone else's. Listening to your hunch, that gut feeling, it becomes like you're cutting edge against the myth of quick cash that just drowns out common sense so often in this industry. Now, let's maybe pivot and talk about these marketing systems and their very appealing promises.
Ah, yes, marketing systems. They have this undeniable allure, don't they? They promise to just hand you the whole blueprint, you know? A demonstrated system that works, leverage other people's experience, access to a community, step-by-step guidance, and that really powerful idea that you don't need to reinvent the wheel. What is it about that promise that's so captivating, and why does it often seem to fall short in practice?
It does sound incredibly simple, doesn't it? Plug and play. But here's the core truth about most marketing systems. They are, first and foremost, for-profit businesses. That's their nature. The owners, they make their money primarily from things like membership fees, affiliate commissions from tools they recommend, joint venture profits. And what's fascinating, or maybe revealing, is that the owners are not necessarily making their money by doing what they tell you to do. They're making money from selling the system itself.
That's a huge distinction, a crucial one. It means it becomes virtually impossible for you, the member, to earn the kind of cash that's often claimed on a sustainable basis simply by following the leader. Because the game they're playing selling the system is different from the game they're teaching you to play. Real money online, sustainable money, it's made through strong branding, through enterprising, smart marketing, and above all else, truly understanding the business model you've chosen to get into.
Exactly. And because the system owner's top priority, naturally, is to keep you paying that monthly subscription, you'll often find these systems tend to prolong processes. They add, well, time-consuming fluff. The more you feel you have to learn, the more info you have to wade through, the more subscription fees they collect from you. It makes sense from their perspective. But what this means for you as a member is you often become just a number working to grow their system, rather than using the system effectively to grow your own business. Look, if system owners genuinely wanted you to make money the way they do, they'd teach you how to set up your own marketing system. But that requires immense resources, time, expertise. things they aren't just going to hand over for a monthly fee.
Okay, so that clarifies the system dynamic. But given the sheer number of online opportunities out there, it can feel incredibly overwhelming. Differentiating between the various business models can be just downright confusing. How do we start to make sense of it all?
It's true. Everyone claims their way is the ultimate money-making solution, right? But to succeed, you really need to grasp the, let's say, top 3 general business models and understand their strategic pros and cons. What fits you? Okay, let's break it down. Option 1, market a Biz Op or a system. This largely breaks down into a couple of main types. First, there's multi-level marketing, or MLM. Now, some of you might be familiar with MLM. It sometimes gets a mediocre reputation, often because it's misrepresented, sometimes unfairly linked to pyramid schemes. But when you look at it factually, it can be a legitimate business model. You get paid basically 2 ways. Commission on product sales, sure, but more importantly, that residual income from your downline sales. People you bring in. Now, it definitely takes time to build, often maybe a couple of years realistically, but it offers the potential for exponential growth and maybe even true passive income if you effectively empower and duplicate your team. Your focus shifts from just selling personally to leadership and support.
So MLM is about leverage and long-term building. What's the second type under this Biz Op umbrella?
Second, within this option is direct sales. This has grown in fame recently, especially in the make money online space. Here, you typically get paid a direct, often upfront commission from your personal sales. You can often earn significantly higher and faster profits than maybe starting out in MLM, but it generally offers less in terms of long-run residual income. Direct sales often means you're kind of always on the hunt for that next personal sale to keep your income flowing. It requires high-energy, continuous effort.
Higher upfront potential, less residual.
Okay.
And the third variation.
And the third way people market a Biz Op is by marketing a marketing system itself as a business model. This is where you focus on driving traffic to the system's website, getting someone to sign up for the system, and then you present your primary business opportunity through that system. While it can work, honestly, it often adds an unnecessary layer of complexity. It can become, frankly, exceedingly convoluted and confusing for the poor prospect, making that path to actually making a sale much, much longer.
Right. Adding steps can lose people. Okay, so that's option 1, marketing biz ops or systems. What's option 2?
Option 2 is selling another person's product. This is commonly known as affiliate marketing. The huge advantage here is you don't have to create the product yourself. That means no inventory headaches, no customer service dramas, no product development costs or time. Companies usually provide all the marketing materials you need, email swipes, banners, you name it, so you can focus purely on driving traffic and making sales. Examples are everywhere. Ebooks, web-based software, maybe educational products, training courses. This is a really popular and relatively low-risk way for people to get started online.
Affiliate marketing, got it. Lower barrier to entry. And the final option.
Finally, option 3, produce and sell your own product. This is often considered the height of net marketing success, the pinnacle, maybe. Now, it's true that creating your own unique thing like a piece of software, a specialized online course, a physical product, it demands significant upfront investment, lots of time, resources, maybe money. But it's also where you build truly proprietary assets, things your own. And it's where you generally find the highest profit margins. It's probably not a day-one strategy for most beginners, but it's definitely something to potentially aim for as you build expertise and really understand your market niche deeply.
Those 3 models really clarify the landscape. And, the journey of the author whose research informs a lot of this, it really illustrates these kinds of shifts, doesn't it? After being involved in countless online ventures, they had this realization, technology changes constantly, like lightning fast, but human nature, fundamentally, it doesn't really change that much. So they chose to leverage OPP, other people's products like affiliate marketing, but very specifically without using the typical multi-step marketing system, because they found that what those systems advertised upfront often didn't match the reality of what it actually took to profit consistently.
Yeah, that shift in strategy was pretty profound. Instead of hiding behind some, fabricated system facade, they focused on producing a personal brand, something that truly represented their values and delivered, the reality about how this industry functions. The core idea became much more direct. Generate lead convert to sale, basically cutting out the middleman, that complex multi-step marketing system.
And the advantages of that direct approach seem really compelling. You gain complete command over your own marketing message, right? You get to decide who you want to work with. You can feel, presumably, 100% proud of your business because you're building your own brand, not just promoting someone else's system. total command over your websites, freedom from system owners dictating things, and you're marketing a proven product without having to create it yourself. All this, theoretically, could lead to spending less on advertising for more sales because your message is just clearer and more direct.
Absolutely. And to illustrate the potential costs, the hidden costs of those multi-step funnels, think about this quick example. Let's say you generate 100 leads, and maybe each step of the marketing funnel converts at a, frankly, very optimistic 10%. Okay? If your leads cost you $5 each, 100 leads cost you $500 upfront. Now, at the first step, maybe there's a $49 front-end product. Only 10 people convert, 10% of 100. Let's say you get a $20 commission each. That's $200. Okay, now those 10 go to the second step, maybe a $500 upsell. Again, 10% convert. So only one person buys. You get maybe a $400 commission. So at this point, you spent $500 leads, but you only made $200 plus $400 was $600 in commissions. Okay, a small profit here, $100. But notice, only one person even saw the next potential upsell. And this example used high conversion rates. Often the reality is much lower. System members often just lack a truthful viewpoint of the bottom line numbers. They rely too much on what the system owners claim will happen way down the funnel.
Wow. Yeah, that funnel math, even with good conversions, really lays bare the potential pitfalls, doesn't it? It makes it crystal clear that just generating leads without converting them profitably is just, well, it's a cash sink. So, how do we pivot from simply generating leads, which many systems focus on, to truly yielding consistent income? It sounds like it means cautioning against getting distracted by those one-hit wonders or focusing only on low-ticket front-end products instead of building for consistent, sustainable profit. Okay, so if you, listening, are ready to build a business that actually establishes your brand and focuses on your earnings, let's dig into the precise tools and resources you'll realistically need to make that happen.
Right. First and foremost, let's just reiterate the importance of a mentor. We touched on this earlier. When you're choosing one, look for a track record of genuine success, not just hype. Look for someone who ideally has a vested financial interest in your success, maybe through overrides or team commissions, so they win when you win. Also, someone you genuinely like and connect with, someone who shares your core beliefs and values. That relationship matters. They should offer specific, learnable experience, maybe both within and outside this specific industry. And, crucially, have a true, genuine interest in helping you succeed, not just using you for their own motives.
Finding the right mentor sounds like a job in itself. Okay, what's next after mentor?
Next up is your brand. We mentioned this too. Your brand isn't just a logo or a catchy tagline, okay? Your brand is really what your leads, your potential customers, think and feel when they hear your name. It's the sum total of all the characteristics that make you unique. And trust, building trust, is a massive component of successful branding. A good way to maybe start identifying your unique brand is to compare yourself to someone completely unlike you. List everything that makes you distinct, your story, your opinions, your style. Then focus on what your ideal audience wants, what their issues are, and really importantly, how your unique features, your brand, can specifically solve those issues for them.
So brand is about you, but also deeply about understanding and connecting with your audience. What about the practical online stuff? Website?
Yes, your website. Think of this as your online first impression, your digital storefront. It's really critical, I think, to invest in a professional-looking site, even if that means hiring someone. Please avoid that homemade amateur look. Your business deserves to look its best, and a professional site builds instant credibility and trust. It signals you're serious.
Professionalism matters. Okay, website. What else? Landing pages.
Absolutely. You'll need an effective landing page, sometimes called squeeze pages or opt-in pages. They're single purpose. Their only job is to convert a visitor into a lead. That means selling the opt-in, getting their contact information, usually an email address. It's not the place to sell your whole story or all your products. Keep it focused. Key elements. Well, first, there's the how come, the offer. Why should someone give you their email? What's in it for them? Maybe it's a free report solving a specific problem, an exclusive video training, a checklist, an easing subscription, a trial offer. It has to focus on solving a prospect's issue or giving them value. Then, the headline. This is probably the most crucial element. It needs to grab attention immediately and express the key benefit, maybe through a brief, curiosity-piquing story or promise. The copy. Keep it really short. Ideally like 100 words or less, maybe just a few bullet points. You don't want to give away too much information too soon. Just enough to entice the opt-in. And finally, of course, the opt-in form itself. This is where you capture the email address, maybe your first name. Quick note. Each extra field you ask for, phone number, city, etc. It will diminish your conversion rate, but it might increase the quality of the leads you get. It's a trade-off. And you'll need third-party software for this, like Aweber or Constant Contact, to manage the list and follow up.
Landing page, offer, headline, short copy, opt-in form. Got it.
What about the product itself if you're not creating your own?
Right. If you're choosing a ready-made product to promote maybe as an affiliate or through direct sales or MLM, assess it carefully. Ask yourself, is this product sold successfully by itself outside of the business opportunity package? That's a good sign of real value. And crucially, do you personally believe in it 100%? If you do, selling it becomes so much easier, more natural, even enjoyable, because your conviction just shines through. People feel that. Also consider, is it truly relevant to current needs? And maybe future needs? Does it solve a major ongoing issue or pain point in today's world?
Believing in the products makes the selling part easier, which brings us to the actual sales process. It's exactly your sales process. Look, whether you like the term or not, everyone in business is a salesperson to some extent. You're selling ideas, yourself, your product. Often, your biggest obstacle isn't getting prospects to choose you over a competitor. It's actually getting them to choose you, or rather your solution, versus doing nothing at all. Inertia is powerful. Overcoming objections, understanding needs, showing value, that's key. But honestly, the truth is, if you believe 100% in your product and its ability to help, you don't really need slick sales skills.
Yeah.
You just have conviction. And that conviction, that genuine belief, is incredibly persuasive all by itself.
That's a great point. Conviction over technique. Okay, so we have mentor, brand, website, landing pages, product, sales process. What ties all of this together? You mentioned a core principle earlier.
Yes. What underpins all these tools and strategies, the real foundation upon which you build a truly sustainable and importantly enjoyable online business, is this overarching principle: integrity.
Integrity. How do you define that in this context?
Well, integrity, simply put, is your actions consistently matching your declared values and beliefs. It's not really about being right or wrong in some universal sense. It's about alignment. For example, if a marketer constantly says they value helping others succeed, but all their actions are clearly only designed to help themselves make money, well, they're out of integrity. There's a mismatch. But interestingly, if someone openly says, look, I value helping myself succeed first and foremost, and all their actions align with that stated value, then technically they have integrity according to this definition. They're being consistent. The most significant thing, though, especially when you're marketing yourself online and building a personal brand, is to have integrity with yourself first. Know your values and act in alignment with them. When your actions truly align with your core values, that internal resistance, that feeling of being phony or pushy, it tends to dissipate. And making money, building your business, it actually becomes genuinely fun and enjoyable because you're operating from a place of authenticity.
Operating from authenticity. That makes so much sense. As we start to bring this deep dive to a close then, it's really clear how powerful knowledge is. Just understanding these models, these pitfalls, these tools, it helps in making better decisions and navigating the risks that, let's face it, come with any business endeavor. It feels like it transforms that initial, maybe fuzzy dream into a much more tangible path.
Absolutely. That ancient wisdom, knowledge is power, it's absolutely true here. And if we connect this to the bigger picture of your overall financial habits, it really echoes what people like Robert Kiyosaki talk about. Becoming wealthy isn't just about how much money you make, it's about how much money you keep, saving, managing. So I'd really encourage you, listening right now, start reserving some money weekly, no matter how small the amount, even if it's just $5 or $10 to start. Make it a non-negotiable commitment to yourself. Pay yourself first. And understand your income and expenses. Really know what's coming in and what's going out each month. That clarity, that basic financial literacy is such a cornerstone of achieving true financial freedom, whether it's online or offline.
Great practical advice there. So just to maybe re-emphasize a few key takeaways from our whole discussion today. First, treat online marketing like a real business. Don't just dabble or try it out. Commit to it. Second, seriously consider using a mentor, the right mentor, someone who genuinely has your best interests at heart and can truly guide you past the common roadblocks. And third, remain actively open to opportunities. Keep your eyes and ears open. Talk to people in your network. Ask for advice. Network within your personal sphere, not just online. You'd be amazed what opportunities can present themselves when your brain is actively looking for solutions and you're prepared to actually act on them.
Well said. And I guess ultimately, I hope this deep dive has been valuable for you, not just in maybe providing some information, but perhaps more importantly in challenging you to question the conventional authority you encounter online, and empowering you, hopefully, to start forging your own unique path to online success based on your values and your goals.